よいしょ。はい、見えるかな。皆さん、こんばんは、こんばんは。本日は、ですね。古代ローマの、なんか、やばい村に行って、たたりっぽいものと戦いながら、タイムリープして、謎解きして、なんとか、この状況を脱出する。贅沢なゲームをやっていこうと思います。やばい村は、2つの要素に分解できる。やば。い村。よし。じゃあ、早速やっていこうと思います。ポチポチ。そして、ね。こちらのゲームは皆さんご存知の通り、謎解きミステリーゲームとなっていますので、なんかこう、自分で解きたい場合とかプレイする予定がある場合は、目をつむって私の声を聞いておいてください。よろしいですね。まあ、1年前のゲームなので、チェックしてる人は、もうプレイしてるとは思うけどね。2年前のゲームだけど、日本語が来たのが1年前。というわけで、スタートしていこうと思います。とりあえず、ニューゲームで始めるね。こちらのゲームは、ザ・フォーゴットン・シティというゲームで、元は、スカイリムの MOD として開発されたゲームでしたが、出来が良かったので、スタンドアローンとしてリメイクされたものが、この本編になります。ちょっと字を大きくしちゃうか。
But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
私は、なぜか川から引き上げられた。この性別選択画面がいいよね。ポチ。私は、ノラ。しまった、テストプレイの時の。名前が使えない。私は、ノラ・キャです。
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating?
いや、全然覚えてないんですよね。
What's the last thing you remember?
私は、そう。無事、岡弘に連れられて、ジャングルの奥の謎の印象が残る村について、調べていたはず。
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for,
なるほどね。
but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to
古代
go
ロー
in
マだ。
there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here. no matter what.
ス
There's
テー
no
ジ、ウ
way I'm
ィンドウ
leaving
が
without
広い。
him. So I'm just kind of stuck here.
メッセージウィンドウが広い。
What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat.
つまり、助けてあげたんだから、ちょっと頼みを聞いてよってことですね。
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
まあ何もわからんから聞いておくか。
Oh, there's not much to tell.
あなたは誰？
Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
大変そう。ブラック企業勤めなのか
I'd
な？
rather not say if it's all the same to you.
何か言いたくない理由ではあるの。
Alright, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself.
名前は大事
My
だからね。
name's Karen. You're welcome.
いやいや、あ
Always
なたは
happy to help.
命と恩人ですよ。
Was there anything else you wanted to ask? You really don't remember?
で、ここはどこ？
We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
デベル川。イタリアなんだ。
He's the guy who washed up on the
ア
river
マゾン
bank
か
not
ら
long
イ
before
タリア
you
まで
did.
流れてきちゃっ
I
た。
thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece
そ
together
の
what
人
you're
も
doing here.
川の岸
In
に
any
倒れてた
case,
の。
you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
そんな一日に、二人も川の流れてる人を助けることなんてある。そんなことあるかな？
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts.
誘惑してくるじゃん。宝物の話なんかしてなかったでしょ。まあ、
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
とりあえず、もういいかな。まあ、私はね、ちょっと、その宝物っていうのは気になってきちゃったな。いやいやいやいや。助けに行くのがね、大事だけどね。あなたが助けに行けって言うから仕方なく行ってみようかな。
My hero.
行ってみましょ
The
う。
entrance is just past those columns behind you. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
これはランプ。だいたいこうやってね、回したりできる。インターフェースがほとんどスカイリムですよね。何合体させて遊ぶこともできる。はい、取ります。というわけで、私は、なんか知らんけど、こんなところにいるのだ。これは、多分、イカ焼き。ここが古代ローマの遺跡らしいですね。アルは先に進んでいるらしいです。鍾乳洞の先を抜けて、これは美しい水、シェーダー、ぬるぬるしてる。崩れた石。そして東屋みたいなものがあって、 バックパックだ。何も大事なものは入ってないみたい。でも、なんでこんなところに。ちょっと、セリフとかの文字を大きくするね。字幕サイズ大。そしてメッセージ。
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, You
あれ
who
も
wish
しかし
to
て
enter
黄
the
金じゃ
city,
ないですか。
step forth and be judged. The
金
virtuous
のランプ、
shall be
金のラン
rewarded
プ
with。eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall
あれ、
find
持って
themselves
帰りましょ
showered
う。
in gold, but in vain. For this shall be their final resting place.
邪悪なる者は
Could
黄
an
金の雨
underground
にさら
city
され、
have remained a
永遠の
secret
眠りに
for
つ
all
く。
this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds?
そんなことはないでしょ。ただの言い伝え。
There's only one way to find out. If I'm not
では
back
ね。
in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side.
誰もいなか
Consider
ったって
this
ことで、
an invitation. Or
あれを持って帰ろうかな。
Alworth.
固定されて動かなかった。こんなのってないよ。あれじゃん。お祭りの射撃の高い景品じゃん。客寄せを目的として。まさか台に固定してあるとは。いや、それにしてもゴールデンなものが多いですね。ここは。誰か何か言いました。それにしてはなんか微妙なポーズの像ばかりだな。これは生足。俺はこれは謎の神様が人間を黄金の塊に変えている映像じゃない。画像。それを伝える神殿か何かだから。こんなにたくさん黄金の像があるのかな。楽しそうな表情をした女の人の像だ。悲しそうでした。これは何か走って逃げてるみたい。許しをこぐ形。 台に飾られてるの以外にも、なんだかその辺に立ってるのがいっぱいありますね。なんでしょう、これ。変な形。鎧を着たままである。この人も鎧を着てる。なんか、砲、当て、みたいなのがついてますね。こちらは。にしても、それにしても、地下の村ですけど、ほとんど滅び去っているみたいですね。なんでしょう、ここは。まるで生きているような、怯えているような形の黄金の像ばかり。植物も枯れてしまって、誰かが首を吊っている。この黄金の像は明らかにローマ人の格好ではない。レザーブーツにシステマチックなボトムズを履いている。明らかに現代人なのである。これが探していた、ある。一体どうしてこんなことに。
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse,
石
you'll
板
suffer the
なんだ。
same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles,
メッセー
searching
ジを
for
残
a
すに
way
は
out.
石板を使うしかなか
The
ったってこ
inscription
と。
was right. There is no way back. In here, there are
数
only
え
two
きれないほど
options:
の堂々巡り。
death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake
こ
of
こには
stepping
出
through
口
it.
がない。
I wanted to set things right, and I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now, and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
つまり、助かる道はない。苦しむ前に死んでしまえと。〇〇しないと出られない部屋なら〇〇を教えてくださいよ。そして、なんか、幻聴が聞こえる。幻聴が聞こえる。また、最初の神殿みたいな形のものがあって、ここからは、滅びた街が見下ろせる。スキンヘッドのおじさんが空を見上げている。バラバラになった骸骨。彼だけは黄金ではない。そして、 ジッポー、ライター。先に進みましょうか。おっと、足が滑った。なんだ今の VR チャットの初期のローリング画面みたいなやつは。ここはなんだか妙に新しいな。あれ、この景色は。あれは黄金と変わらぬ輝きのツルツルのおじさん。
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
喋った。
Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
私は、ノラ、キャット、未来から来た。
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, not right in the head? That's all right.
失礼な。
Everyone's welcome here.
優しい笑顔をされてしまった。真面目な話、今日の日付は今何年の何月何日だ。
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say
何年
early
何年。
March?
タイムリープしたらこれをやっておきたいよね。そこのくん、今は何年の何月だ。
It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the
AUC.
empire are you from exactly?
なんか、またお手手が伸びてきたな。そういうこともある。
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but
月光人が来るんだ。
you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law
Hi.
here, and we'll all get along just fine.
俺たちの方。それは一体何なんですか。ちょっと待ってね。手が上がってるから。反対側の世界に行くね。反対側の世界に来ました。よし。そして、法とは何ですか。
Not laws, law. There's just one
黄金
golden
律。
rule, and the punishment for breaking
知
it's
ってる。
well, it's kind of horrific.
エルデンリングを集めればいいんだ。
insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
人ですか。何か偉い人ですか。
When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
結構明るいですね。
Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since
23
nobody
人
knows
しか
the
住
way
んでな
out.
い。
But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're
め
not
ちゃめちゃ
careful.
限界集落だ。
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for
色
much
目を使
longer.
われちゃった。
Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
そして政務官は嫌われてるみたいですね。
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her if I were you. She's, it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
ネギとキャベツと小麦。
Bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
肉の入っていない餃子が作れますね。
She's just been in a bad place since. Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her.
やばい村によく言う意味不可視な言葉をつぶやく老婆だ。ここにもいるんだ。謎めいた言葉を言う老婆。こんなところにもいるなんて。やばみが深くなってきたな。
Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the shrine of
水
Apollo.
道橋、美しい。
Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this
何か言った。
central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
ここは綺麗なところですね。金持ちの住んでるところか。
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
終わってをつけている人。この人。黄金像に変えられている未来の世界で見たな。この人もやはり。
Follow me.
とりあえず案内し
The
て。
thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10. Made us
ロー
draw
マの10
straws,
分の1の計ですね。
and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective.
恐ろしいや恐ろしや。
Call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule
黄
is
金率は
exactly
さら
10
に
times
怖い。
worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Is
な
it
るほどなる
these
ほどね。あなたが政務官。
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am.
青の
May
彫
I
りが
know
深い。
your name?
顔の彫りが深い。私はノラ・キャ。
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning.
知性が
We're
溢れ出し
always
ちゃって
happy
た。
to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're
Equitia
probably
さんですか。
wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A
先見の明
secret
がありそうだ。
city
あなたは
deep
意外と好意的ですね。
many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly,
とっても綺麗。
miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months.
7ヶ月しか経ってないんですが、すごい。
strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise.
それは乱生命かもしれないな。
Not
で
a
も
single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing.
誰も犯罪を犯していない。
Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as
それは
a
どう
city
してわかるんです
without
か？
sin?
でもそんなところは確かに見たことないですね。三村インダストリーの本社は割とそんなところあるけど、
Nor could I
Imra.
until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as
恐ろしいです
simple
か？
as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You
一人
see,
犯罪
the
すると
builders
全
of
員
this
死刑。
place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible
神々の
punishment.
怒りに触れることになる
Like
で
the
すか？
curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all
どうしてそんな
to
こと
gold.
が分かったんだろう。
We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is
なるほ
almost
どなるほど。
And now it seems that day is finally here.
たたりのある
All that
やばい
matters
村
is
に
that
来てしまっ
somebody
た。
in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now?
そして何者かがたたりを
Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is
引き
assured.
起こそうとして
I
い
know
る。
that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions.
それを止めなければならないと。
Ask away. You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina.
女神の儀式。
It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable
そして
happens, one person can pass through it and travel back.
めっちゃ私のことじゃん。
And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person
女
was
神の
you.
聖堂から光って
You don't belong in our time, do you?
誰かが出てくる。
2,000 years?
だからめちゃくちゃスムーズにここまで連れてこられたんですね。
Please tell me, in your time, what did you see?
いや全員金ピカになってました。
Of this city?
あなたのこともキックして倒しました。
I have imagined it, our downfall 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the
この
truth.
ままではやばいことになります。
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long
誰かを怪しいとは
that you
思
can't
ってる
see
の。
it for what it is? And what's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the
なる
independence
ほどね。
of your investing. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me of all people? I'm glad you think so. Without
それは
trust,
もっとも。
without each other, we won't be able to prevent.
でも誰もが疑うべきだと思ったから。
All right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political
なるほど。
agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
まあ、あなたは私を信頼しているという部分においては、私もあなたを信頼できそうだからね。
If I
ひと
understand
まずは手を
Proserpina's
貸しておく
ritual
か。
correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you
古代
here.
ローマ人が
I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to
タイ
come
ムパ
here.
ラドックスを理解してい
Thus,
る。
you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to
タイ
your
ム
own
パラドッ
time,
クスを
having
完全に理解
changed
してい
the
る古
past
代ロ
for
ーマ
all
人
of
だ。
us. Make sense?
I see.
An intelligent
で
question.
は、
There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks
ここ
here.
の罪とは一体
Does it
何？
refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus.
盗まない、暴
About
力を振るわない、
lying,
殺さない
insulting。someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide. As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before
とりあえ
seen.
ずは、ローマ
And
帝
we
国の
must
法
honor
律を
the
そのまま
peace
持
of
って
the
きてるわけ
gods,
ですね。
the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper
わ
respect
からんから、
that we
と
may
りあえず
prosper,
そうしてお
as
こうと。
Rome has for centuries.
ノーカウント、ノーカウント。長文で反論するのはうざいからやめておきましょう。侍の前で。プレイ、うちは。プレイ、うちは野蛮ですよ、とか言っても。普通に切り殺されるから。
I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my
なるほど、な
pronouncement
るほ
on
ど。
the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you. Ah, good.
やばい奴らには気をつけろ。なるほどね。
Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule? Wonderful. Now,
では
I
引き
need
受け
you
ましょう。
to investigate the city. Talk to every. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave.
勇者の特権をゲッ
Figure
トしま
out
した
who。the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the shrine of
ル
Apollo
クレティ
in the
ア、なるほど
fall.
ね。
I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
めちゃくちゃ泣いてるから。まずはそこから調査しろと。
Oh, another one
なるほ
fresh
どね。
out of the baths, I take it. Ugh, I wish Horatius would
あな
stop
たは
letting
誰？
barbarians in here. What do you want?
モラ、CAT、早番ではない。
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the
あなたは誰？
magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
私は、光って、神殿から出てきたんだぞ。
Really? I'd never have noticed.
こ
What
こ
with
の
your
人間ではないの
flawless
で、
accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs.
めちゃくちゃ皮肉。
Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or
妹の
her
行方
watch?
ですか。
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for
神様が
yourself?
怒っちゃう
No
よ。
response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
よかった。何も起こらなかった。ドキドキさせてくれるな。神様に向かって、空中に向かって暴言を吐くのは大丈夫みたい。吊り橋効果ではない。
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
誰も黄金になって死んだことはないもんね。 そのうちにわかることだろう。皮肉返し。
I suppose we will. Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too.
妹の失踪のことについてさっきも言ってましたね。
I don't know. Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
アルピーヤは悪いことするからそうかもしれない。ハルピは
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together.
3週間前ですか。ずいぶん前のことだ。
In love. We went into our rooms. I went to sleep. And when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
こんな飲酒がありそうな村で恋愛絡みの事件を起こしたらそれは失踪しますよ。
I think it's their way of branding us.
こんなやばい村で
Like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm
恋愛のい
Sentia
ざこ
because
ざを
I'm
起こ
the
すと
eldest.
絶対失踪
And
す
my
る。
little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as
この
Sentia.
辺がなんか絡んでそうですね。
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret.
そして誰と付き合っていたのかはわからない。
Plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans. I don't
こんな
know.
脱出不能
But
の
it's
秘
been
密都市で
3 weeks since
政
he
略結婚も
disappeared, and
何
he
もない
hasn't
でしょ
come。forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
画像を解く必要がありそうですね。
That doesn't
謎を解
surprise
く
me.
必要があ
To
りそ
him,
う。
it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of
公
course,
認主義の
but
人
he
なんだ。
says he's too busy with the election to help look for her.
公認主
So
義。
he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting.
公認主
Some
義。
good that's done.
それしか言えない。
Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy. If you must know, I'm here. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one. So you'll help me find
心
her.
配してるんだと思うけどな。なんだかんだで心配してるんだと思うけど。
You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find
と
something
り
the
あえ
rest
ず
of us
有
missed.
力者に取り入っておくのもいいか。
Thank you.
なんだか枕の下に手紙が。クレメンティア。出る方法を見つけたの。自分で出て行ったのかな。これはインク、壺。そしてこれはお金だ。まあ、先立つものは必要だし、部外者の私がこれをどうにかしたところで別に何も起こらんでしょ。よいしょ。
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
人間が黄金に変えられていく。 人間がどんどん黄金に変えられていく。これはまずい。世界の終わり、世界の終わりだ。政務官は祈りを捧げて骸骨になっちゃった。早く帰らないと、早く帰らないと。でももうちょっとだけ。ここは、私は戻ってきた。黄金に変わってない。
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
デジャブが存在するな。私はノラ、キャット、さっきもその話をした。
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
酔っ払いのたわごとではない。全部わかっているぞ。
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you. Oh, and since you
私
seem
の
to
こ
be in
と
a
知ってる
hurry,
でしょ。
you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it. Just
なん
attach
か
the
不安
body
な
to the
形
rope
状だ
over
け
the
ど、
lake
ジ
and
ッ
hang
プ
onto
ライ
the
ンのハンドル
handles.
だ。
If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's complete. All right.
ありがとう。でも、この形状でどうやって紐を通すんだろう。トンネル効果を使用する。でも、その前に大事なことがあるよね。財布の中身を確かめることだ。お金が存在する。お金が存在する。というわけで、ループするたびにこのものは回収しておきます。さて、では、まず、何から手をつけようかな。ルクレティアがどうのこうのって言ってたっけ？いろいろと、その辺の人にも話を聞いてみよう。この人はエクイティア。立ち去っちゃった。はい、もう一回やり直し。 あなたは誰？
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way.
コミュニケーション能力が高いもので、
You wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
これは失礼。
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual
めんど
acquaintance
く
in
さい
high
ですね。
office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do
あ
it
なた
your
も
way.
気軽な
You
コミュニ
just
ケーション
keep
に
being
憧れてたんだ。
yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a... You know, I'm not entirely sure.
あなたはどうやってここに？
Karen, you said?
そうなんですよ。
And nothing about that name seemed odd.
奇妙な感じ。
Older.
別に珍しい話ではないと思うけど、
I wonder if... No.
はっきりしないですね。そんな躊躇しない
I
で。
apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think
彼らが
you
どう
should
やってですか？
go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns. Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to
Livia.
you too. Up until a few weeks ago, she was
一体
a
何が？
perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and
頼り
cutting
になる
hair.
人だったんだ。
She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly
気づいちゃった人じゃん。
She withdrew, stopped working and became
何かに気づいちゃったんだ。
started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help.
発狂してしまって
She
いる。
just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or but there is a small chance.
何か
that
に
she
気づいてしまったん
learned
だ。
something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that I just don't want... Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth and come back to me.
わかりました。
if you discover
わ
any
かったけど、
patterns.
好奇心で探ってみます。
Come back to me when...
私も幻聴が聞こえるから。不定の狂気は入ってるかもしれない。
What is it, citizen? I'm a legionary
あ
of
な
the
たはどう
First
してここ
Italica,
に？
but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me. I act
ロ
as
ー
the
マ
magistrate's
第
right
一
hand
軍
man,
団。
keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say.
見守っていたのに失踪した
Making
っ
sure
て
that
聞いてます
I
よ。
also keep a register of your... I'm from Liguria, up north originally.
あなたはどうやって
I
こ
was
こ
doing
に？
all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl
ユウ
lined
は
up for when it
どう
was
し
all
て
over.
黄金鏡
Not
に？
anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. That's right. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets.
彼女に
shouting
戦
fire.
争中にペンダントを買う行為は現代で何と言われてるか知ってますか？
Then
あ
some
なた。
genetricum fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river.
盗まれちゃったんだ。
Nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver.
そして川の近くで意識を
Fortunate
失
to be
った。
alive, I suppose.
なるほどね。
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, that said. What business is that of yours? A lot of people have been looking for her.
頼まれたんで
But
す
it's
よ。
been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better? I suppose that's true.
いやいや、私が役に立ちますよ。
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit.
めちゃめちゃ褒めてるな彼女がいたくせに。
If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Cynthia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I
覚え
suppose.
ておきます。
Fine. I don't see why not.
絶対に返しますよ。明日になったらね。
Not sure why you said it like that, but whatever. Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of
さ
decimation
っき
in
も
the
それ
Legion.
言ってたもん
By
ね。
threatening to execute 1 in 10 men. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny,
ここでも確かに
you'd bloody
犯
well
罪は
watch
起こ
you
って
like
ないみたいだし。
hundred-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep.
それを他人に否定される言われはないですよね。
And I've come to accept my lot. As with the golden rule, I don't have any control over it. So railing against it would be like
な
trying
る
to
ほ
stop
ど
the
なるほど。
seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to
まあ
enjoy the
私も
present
知ってるからな。
and
それが起こるの
anxious
は
dependence upon the future. Not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. Wait. If you like. All right.
なんか消極的な話だ
Please
な。
keep an eye out for it.
とりあえずいろいろ見て回ろうか。
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment.
こんなところ
It
で
being
これ
election
見よが
day.
しに。腕の毛がすごい。
The name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me. Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
剣闘士
You
なんだ。
want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth.
遅らせちゃった。怒らせちゃった。
Listen, I don't abduct women. They come to me. And they keep coming back. If you know what I mean.
自分の見た目が怪しいのはちゃんと理解してるみたい。
Too bad.
自分がモテると思ってるところはわかる。
I'm glad you asked. See, left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed.
何か価値のあるものを差し出す。
Just make it good. Whatever.
はっきり言わないのがヤクザっぽい。
Isn't the great temple majestic?
ここにはいろんな人がいるみたいですね。
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
ケツアゴだ。 ケ
Can't
ツアゴ
talk
のル
long.
フィ。
Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long
第
time
6軍
now.
団に入っていた。
Same way as everyone. If you were dealing with what I am,
他の奴らと同じはっきりと教えてほしいんだけどな。
if we... Whatever.
機嫌が良くないみたい。
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
陽気なツルツルだ。
Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I
フレン
must
ドリ
say,
ーす
my
ぎて
sartorial
逆に
friend,
怪し
your
い。
clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals,
特に興味を持って
trousers
る
with
だけか。
precise stitching. And such a curious design.
安心した。ただのオタクだ。
Distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India.
早口だし。
And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know. From which exotic part of the world?
肌の服飾、オタクだった。
Then you are an explorer like me. Wonderful.
遠いところから来たんですよ。遠いところ。
I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
コミュニケーション能力が高いタイプのオタクだ。
My story? How kind of you to ask.
でも聞くことはでき
I
そ
am
う。
a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
めっちゃ嬉しそう。自分のこと聞いてくれる
A
の。
very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly
覚え
myself.
てない。
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa
な
by
る
the
ほど。
Tiber,
羽振りが良かったん
invited
です
over
ね
a。few select friends, and we began making our way through some
川
of
の
the
ホテルの
most
別荘を
exquisite
借りて
wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it.
めっ
in
ちゃお
fact.
酒を飲んだ。
Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even
また
found myself
何か聞いたことがあるような話だな。
but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as when I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed, I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat.
明
In
る
any
いタイプ
case,
だ。
it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. You mean to say,
誰か
with
に
all
会
the
ったんです
turmoil
ね
and-。
なるほど。
I'll tell you, it is, I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here. Oh, if we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at. I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
かっこいいファッションで黄金像に変えられたい。前向きだな。
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I
人気がない
would
な。
enjoy the
政
thought
務
of
官。
another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
投票しないとヤクザが襲ってくるん
Nothing
だ。
comes to my mind. I hope that our paths cross again.
嫌な世界。結構情報が集まりましたね。なるほど。おや。バキだ。
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community.
おや、振り向
My
くとな
name's
かなかの
impossible
俳
to
優
pronounce for
顔。
most people, so you can just call me
イケ
Virgil.
メンですね。
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking.
なんで、こんな
Somebody
落書
just
きを
has a
強いんです
problem
か。
with my preference for male company.
なるほど。
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh?
でも、ローマっ
Sorry,
て
that
そう
was
いうの
mean.
いいんじゃなかったでした
Yes, I
っ
like men. And then you grow up in the north as I did, in the city of Noviomagos. You expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for... I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid
なるほど、
who
な
I
るほ
was
どね。
for... What was it? Nearly 10, but that kind of fear eats away at you slowly. Until, needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness
それも本
didn't
当の
go
名前
down
じゃないん
well
だ。
among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am.
だから、
Or at least
ローマの方
I
に来た
thought
んです
that was
ね。
the
なるほ
case.
ど。
It seems I was wrong.
だから平和になった。けどまた何か言われてるんだ。
I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of
サワンは
the
なん
men
か上がっ
here.
ちゃってる。
Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess,
字幕が隠れるのでこっち側に置いています。カルト宗教が存在する。宗教が存在するし、やばい神様のたたりがあるし、謎めいた言葉を放つローマがいる。めちゃくちゃ揃ってきた。
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that He considers my nature as sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit
彼と
it.
いう名前の一人の
Not
神
since they
しかいない。
supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and
キ
went
リスト
into
教徒
hiding.
かな。
All I know is if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule. What? Really? I didn't
調
expect
べて
that.
みましょう。
I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cult, someone who lived, but if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're
優しい
just
人ですね。
confused. Come back and let...
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
自分だけが武器を欲しいなんていうやつに、専守防衛の気持ちはない。
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius.
眉毛が太い。
I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling
Fabia.
Georgius she saw something. She was headed to the baths not long ago. You mean how did I end up
浴
here?
場ですか。
That
なる
is
ほ
a
ど。
lengthy tale. All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society.
天井
Had myself a
泥棒
nice
じゃ
little
ない
shop
の
in Rome
それ。
just off the forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good
戦
place
場
to be when the
嵐で
fires
しょ。
broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open
そ
to
して
escape
火事
by
があって、
barge. So I gather my coins and some priceless vases into
川
a
に向
cart
かって
and
走
had
っ
my
ていた
most
と。
loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me.
そ
All
し
the way
て
down to the
コイ
river,
ンを
I'm
たくさん持
elbowing
って
through a
た。
stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
賄賂を払って船に乗せてもらったんだね。なるほど。もちろん、可愛い女の子を選んだんだよね。
Listening, all my valuables or the girl. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the car, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of
奴
hers
隷
got
の
all
命は
wide.
命ではないと
And in
思って
one
いる。
swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I
そして
washed up on the
その
riverbank
金
not
庫を追
far
いか
from
け
here
て
with
川
nothing in
に
the
飛び
world
込
but
む
a
と、
single silver coin.
こうなっていたと。京都、人的な対応をしておこう。お気の毒に。
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune because this place is. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure
こ
out
こ
how
は
to get it out of
黄
here.
金だらけだもんね。出ることはできないけど。
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have
全
of
然
protecting
人気ないな。
us? Not going to happen. Very well. Another time.
娘を失踪させたのを助けられなかったから人気がないんだね。それは、でもやっぱり。その、ライバル、立候補者が怪しいですね。あの人が、ファビアだ。
You have to do something. A man arrived in
ど
the
うしたの？
bath. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You
武装、
do
痴漢。
something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
武装、痴漢だ。
Are you serious? This isn't a... Are you going to... Thank
やってみましょう、やってみま
He's
しょう。
still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Hear what? What? Ugh.
あそこで待ち合わせ
The
ね。
shrine is collapsing.
終わりかけの年賀状態。
Fabia, no!
終わりかけのジェンガだっ
She's
た。
dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh, Fabia, why
ひど
did
い。
you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl!
でも書いてあるし。いい人ですね、
Believe
あな
she's
た。
dead. Fabia, I mean. She walked into that empty shrine, and
め
the
ちゃく
next
ちゃ
moment
説
she's
明
lying
的なセ
dead
リフ。
under a pile of rubble. The gods are cruel and unjust. She was like a daughter to me. I'm sorry, friend.
使われていない聖堂に入っていて、崩落に巻き込まれて死んでしまった。とりあえず。武装、痴漢を見に行こう。武装、痴漢。
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do
い
you
や
know where he
全
is?
然知らない。
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible
ちょっ
crimes
と
against
話
the
がつなが
Empire.
ってきたな。
So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise, is that under... You are not off to a good start. When
嘘、
I
言っ
ask
てない
you
し
a。question, I expect an... Thank you. Now tell me, who are... Oh, how very welcoming of you. You want me to let my guard down, is that it? You're not going to get your claws into me. I was told
さすがに
Quinctius was a
ダメかダメか。
cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
ここが全部カルトだと思われてる。
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret
何を言ってもなんかダメ
sanctuaries,
そう。
indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated
話
your
を聞く気が
activities
一
up
つも
until
ない。
now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
嫌だってあなた、危なそうだし。
So you admit you're not allowed to leave. That sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying,
何を言っ
the
てもダメ
many
だ。
shall suffer for the sins of the one, I take it this is some
何を
kind
言
of
ってもダメ
mantra
だ。
you all believe?
いや、それはマジなんですよ。信じているとかじゃなくて、
You've
単純に
clearly
事
been
実。
indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me,
止
where
まっ
did
てる
you
とかじゃなく
not
て、
get enough gold to make all these statues?
事実なんですってば。いや、そうなんですよ。あなたに
You
本
lot
当
are
のことを話しま
practicing
す。
human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
悪い伝わり方をしてしまった。
Of course you
神
say,
様のせい
but
なんで
that's
すよ、
what
神
you're
様
trying
の
to
せ
do,
い。
isn't it? Our God told us to
もう
do
ダメ
it.
だ。
It's all clear to me now. The
もうお
secret
しまいだ。
century, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal.
いや、事
They
実
just
なんだ
can't
ってば。
see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem
信じてると
yourself
かじゃなくて
by
本当な
telling
んで
me
す。
where Quintius is. Do not waste it.
しかも知らないんです。
Gold?
金か金が欲しいんだ
I
ろう
don't。care about gold. You don't seem to understand the situation. So let me make it abundantly
くれてや
clear.
る。私は助
The
けろ。
only thing I care about is carrying out my duty to execute the cultist Quinctius. I have
変に
spent
真面目な
many
人で困っ
exhausting
ちゃうな。
months tracking this arsonist through cities and villages, roads and forests, bribe. At times, I was so bone tired I could have sworn I'd approached the brink of death. But still, day and so you see, I know he's here. Turning back is not an option, and right now, the only thing
私じゃないの
standing
に。
between me and so, for the last time.
知らないね。
Then you're of no use. Do you have any last words? Well, I'd say that's rather.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
だから言ったのに、だから言ったのに。だから行ったのに、だから言ったのに。本当だったでしょ、本当だったでしょ。あいつ変わらないな。私が暴力を振るわれてもこうなっちゃうんだから。困ったことですよ、困ったこと。はい。ご苦労、ご苦労。
Of course. Well, it's a long one and kind of sad.
改めて会話をしましょう。
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in
農民
Britannia,
だったんですね。
Dunham, with my parents and two little sisters. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries
伝
came
送と
along,
略奪。
demanding produce for their men. My father told me
い
to
つもあ
run
る
to
こ
the
とだ。
house for his axe, and so I did. But by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty.
略奪で殺されてしまった。
My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went
だ
downhill
から
from there.
兵士のことを信頼して
Took
ない
over
ん
the
ですね。
farmstead, but I was young. It was a
なるほどなるほ
struggle.
ど。
More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. One night, when my sisters and I had not, I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle.
天敵、必勝。
There were more of them. I never saw how many, because the night my home was reduced to ash. My my sisters.
家は燃やされて、家族は殺されて。
And they left me alive. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Rome. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found
ローマ
myself
人の
being
奴隷にされちゃったんだ。
all the way to Rome. To be sold to
波
the
乱万丈
highest
すぎる。
bidder. I tried to escape a couple of times, but they always probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome.
火事に巻き込まれたんですね。
Everybody was running down
それ
toward
で、
the river,
なるほど。
screaming and shouting. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur.
そして
Next thing I knew,
川に
some
向かって
stranger
走っ
was
たところ
dragging
で
me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life
誰
over
かが
again.
川から引き上げてくれた。
That's what I thought too, for a
どこ
while.
かで聞いたような
See, I
話
finally
だ
had my
な。
own farm again. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says.
でも
Only he takes
これは
the best
唯
bit
一の
for
畑
himself,
だもんな。
of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule.
ある程度仕方ないのかもしれない。
Our dear old magistrate is no better than the legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back.
ここは
Don't you
電
worry.
製トラックじゃなくて
Nemesis is
天気よ
waiting.
し川があるんだ
He'll
な。
get his. One day, he'll get his.
ネメシス
Forget I
様。
said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
カルトか。
Thanks, friend.
もう忘
I
れた
knew
よ。
I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I can't see how I could vote
い
for
や
either
聞きたいこ
candidate.
とは消
I
えか
don't
けた
like
かな。
Sentius. Even I could do a better job. All right.
さてと。とりあえずルーチンをこなして。とりあえずお風呂場のことは解決したいのを行ってみましょう。痛い。
Help! You have to do. A man arrived. You have to.
言ってる。知ってる知ってる。
Thank you. I have to.
なんとかします。
What? Why?
そこはダメでも。
All right.
私を信じて。
Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
貴重な命が助かった。出たな。
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quintius Crispus,
言
otherwise
って
known
ま
as
す。知ってます。知ってます。めっちゃ知ってます。そこ曲がったところにある聖堂です。そこにいました。さっきいました。めっちゃいました。
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths
ありがとう
don't
ござい
cross
ま
again.
す。帝国万歳帝国万歳。皇帝ネロ万歳。そこです。はい。めっちゃそこにいて。帝国万歳帝国万歳。皇帝ネロ万歳。ざまあみろ。
Curse you, cultist.
そこがお前の墓場だ。 やりました。これがタイムトラベラーだ。恐ろしいね。いや、事故です。殺人ではない。事故です。事故。黄金律に溢れていない。
You there. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but
おや、
notice
何で
that
すか？
fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban. But I'm impressed.
すごいでしょ。
Before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts.
やま信用的なさそうなやつだな。めっちゃ、私から目をそらしてくるし。
Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden stars? And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out. In any case, supposedly one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty.
人間を黄金に変える。
Of human life, which has to be stopped. I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella with the ability to transmute organic matter into gold. One could create infinite wealth. Use your imagination. Golden animals, insects, trees, and plants.
物理的な錬金術の話ですか。
And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite. Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
人の心解かないんか。
Oh, I'm not suggesting we use such a bow on people. There's no profit in breaking the golden rule.
こいつは個人的に処刑しておいた方がいいかもしれない。
Now, I have a plan. Good. The Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld, depending on who you ask. The one thing
月の女
priests
神
and
です
poets
か。
agree on
私のこ
is
と
that
か
she
な。
carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And would you like to guess? Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple
黄金の
staring
弓
at
の
it,
実
trying to
物が
figure out
存
how
在
to
するん
retrieve
だ。
it without breaking you know what. Oh, gods no! If you tried that, we'd all be dead within moments, I'm sure. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers,
盗むんじゃな
and
く
under
て
cover of
修理と
darkness,
か
swap
交換な
out
ら
the
大
fake
丈
for
夫
the
ってこ
original.
と。
It's not theft exactly, it's more of a trade. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead.
私にやらせる意味がないんで、黄金律発動したら全員死ぬんだから。
Ask away.
自分でやればいいじゃん。
I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the... So, wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started. This is a quality. And here we are, a gold leaf bow.
信用できないけどな。めっちゃゴールドになっちゃった。
Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
神々が見守っていませんように、ですか。この世界では皮肉な言葉ですね。
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Sylphium.
そんなこと言われても。
But that Culas Cubolates Decius won't give it to me.
デキウス。
It's too late. She just slipped away.
なんということ、助けられなかった。
She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing.
毒殺ですか。でも、殺人なら、黄金律が発動するはず。
So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000
イビル
denarii."
スマイル。
There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it.
モ
Then
ノマネ
that
付きで
fool
言ってる。
shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I
引き換え
guess
る。
you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall, but there's no way I can do that down here.
とりあえず、言葉を尽くして悪口を言っても、黄金律には抵触しないみたいですね。
I kept on apologizing, and now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she... Well, unless you have the... Get me that silphium res... I don't care how you get it. I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out. Well, come back if you get sick or...
言葉にならないほどの悪口になっちゃった。しかし、私にはできることがある。私にできることは、こういうことだ。スティール。
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Everybody run!
大丈夫大丈夫。次の世界のあなたを助けてあげるからね。この世界は滅びるけど、次の世界ではあなたを助けてみせる。さあどうぞ。祈って祈って早く。ありがとう。じゃあ行くね。
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost?
うるさい。お前には役名がある。よく聞け。
You sound serious. I'm listening.
早く走って行って、暗殺者を嘘ついて聖堂に連れて行け。
Alright, let me see.
分かったらさっさと行け。ほら走れ。
Once I'm done, I'll need you to...
Oh. さて私は
Arve.
Fear is proof of a
Aeratius.
degenerate mind.
このなぜか懐にあるもので助けに行くぞ。
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dead? She needs...
うるさい。こんなところに解毒薬が。
Give it here. Yulia, Yulia. You need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle? A what?
私はタイムトラベラー
I
だ。
must have misheard you. I think it's your accent. Because that was like the god. You just saved a person's life. And you should be proud of yourself. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her. And in the meantime, Sure. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe
でも
it's
殺
best
されたのなら、バネ、黄金律が発動するはずだから。
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. This is Navia's thing. I'm tired and out of... My husband and I moved to... I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew, so I waited for the... As he prepared, I could... The next thing... It's alright. And while
とりあえず買わね。なるほどね。
Gladly. That's a shit.
ラン、どうした？何だったんだろう。そうかそっかそっか。これだ。
Against someone else with a weapon.
There are no other weapons in the city.
とりあえず、これはこれでよしと。
All went along with the map.
次は、どれから行こうかな。これかな。
Magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
May Apollo keep you safe? Feeling alright? Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but
Oh no,
there was one other person, but that was Navia, and she went well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a... Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me, "This changes everything," she kept saying. But I had no idea. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues. Like she... And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door. She's been gone so long now, but I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of... One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints... I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end. I just know Navia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. Really? That would be wonderful.
Naruhodo. 助かったんですね。よかった。
Was there something you wanted? You mean my life story? Oh, well, our father found good husbands.
とりあえず、川に落ちたエピソードについて教えて。
It was a good life for a while. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire, my employer told me to grab what valuables I could and leave for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then...
そして、財産を持って川にダッシュ。
The next thing I knew, I was waking up on the...
大体わかった。
Thank you. But to be... All right. I'd been here, so when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price.
最初に出会った人ですね。
1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
出口の噂を売りつけられたんだ。なるほど。
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. I was so happy to have the
そんな
money
大
I
金を
didn't
貸し付けら
question
れ
it.
たんですね。
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so I paid Aurelia. And she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want
話
to
が
know
読めて
what
きた
it
ぞ。
was? Hemlock. It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said.
そしてあな
And
た
you'll
は
be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She
行
pointed
くと
to
ころ
a
がなく
sign
なっ
on
て
her
その出
tavern
口に
saying,
手を出さざるを得なかっ
"Let
た
the
ということ
buyer
ね。
Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She
でも
immediately
それは
told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he
ローマ
didn't
の法律
seem
に
upset or surprised at all. In fact,
ないから
he
裁くことはできないん
just
だ。
thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them
ひどい話だ、
had
詐
planned
欺。
the whole thing from the beginning. That's what I said to them. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was
相手の方
nothing
が
he
合法なん
could
だ。
do.
ひどいで
I
すね。
thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if he locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral,
逆に
and made
こっ
me
ちが
wear
働かないことが
immodest,
詐欺になっちゃう。
humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out.
しかも
His wife
ロー
thought
マ
it
の
was
法律
just
で
as
は
bad.
セクハラを裁くことがで
She
きな
sent
い。
me to work on an endless stream of futile. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on. Those two took everything from me. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up
そし
too.
てこんなことになってしまった
Should
と。
have drunk all of it. Don't you think I know that? I brought it on myself. When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for
ヤ
me.
クザが来る。
He'll only this time. I won't be. Honestly, it would have. I doubt it. At least a lot. But it doesn't matter. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself. Knowing... I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who
助けて
you
くれ、
are
助け
or
てく
why
れ、
you
助
seem
けて
so
くる。
determined to help me, but...
May Apollo keep you safe.
ちゃんと詐欺の啓発ポスターとか貼らないとダメだよ。
Keep an eye out for Centilla, would you?
騙される人が出ちゃうからさ、またさ。入れ口教えてやるから1000円送ればすべて詐欺です。まあ、それは、そうと、それは、そうと、回収。よいしょよいしょ。
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the golden rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not?
そんなことしてる場合じゃない、そんなことしてる場合じゃない。いや、まさに崖っぷちに立ってる気分。じゃなくて、その崖っぷちに立ってる人に話がある。物理的にも精神的にも崖っぷちの人がいるの。
Well, it was lovely to meet you. I can't
believe this is how it ends.
Oh no.
そこそこそこ。
No. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working?
I know things are hard for you right now.
話は聞いてる、話は聞いてる。
We're all in this. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates.
I'm sorry, but I just don't.
Please, Orpheus, help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing.
説明的なセリフはいいから。
Please, you need... Thank you.
とりあえず話してみる。
Choose your words carefully.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime?
ちゃうねん。
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong.
問題を教えて解決してあげる。
Couldn't pay it back. I'll be stuck slaving away for that culus cumulatis malleolus for the rest of my life. I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
みんな、ひどい悪口を言う。ひどい。センティラ。
I can't believe he went through with it.
失踪した女の子だ。
Oh Lord.
もしかして交際相手って。
That was not your fault. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin. I'll have to let everyone know what happened, and I'd best pray.
そんな。神様が私に死ねって言った。レッツダイブ。
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
プールに大穴を開けて死んだようですね。私はこの人の家の中に落ちてきたみたい。
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
インポッシブリー、クレバーって言った。そして暗殺者が狙っていた両目の色が違う人物だ。ダルト、カルト。の前に、どうしてあなたはここに。
And if it wasn't... I'm glad you are. These good people have suffered long enough under by declaring there's no such thing as the golden rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait.
作り話じゃないんですよ。存在するんですよ。それ。
Can you do that? Can you? Nonsense. There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it,
タイムトラベルしてるんだけどな。
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best.
早口で説明してみよう。
And that means giving them
私はタイムトラベラーだ。
Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor... True,
ダメだ、
but that is
話が
simply
通じない。
because you are mistaken. I'm afraid not. We're stuck down. My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else.
イエスともノーとも言わない。
You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
めちゃくちゃポジティブだ。
Well, I am not so. Unlikely, because it's simply... Of course not.
なるほどね。
But
証
as
拠
I
が
always
必要か。
say, if Sentius can't protect his daughter, how can we trust him to protect this city?
これを対立候補のあなたが言い出すということは怪しいな。
If you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius
なるほど。
says he saw... Of course, just to be clear... Are you insane? Why? You are act... I trust you through...
まあ、だんだんと話は分かってきたかな。とりあえずこれで。
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and
ヤクザに貢ぎ物を送らなくても、
elected your magistrate.
この対立候補の家の鍵はゲットだ。30M ジャンプしなくても大丈夫。
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirkus? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
いや、ちょっとジャンプして。性癖を語ってる。何も盗みつけるな。ここは何かありそうですね。でも黄金像があって入れない。
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all, but it does. The bloodless, some the house of the ruler of the depths. They never. You think it is better for you if you remain ignorant.
気づいちゃったんだ。
There is a... Help me. It is better for you if... The newly... Cerberus lifts his triple head.
うまく話してくれませんね。
Praying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades,
ここは
imitating their
酒場。
previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
虫がたくさん浮いている。あんまり良い酒場ではないみたいだな。
Beautiful. Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward.
こういう風に人に取り入って
There's a light in your
詐欺の
eyes
片
I've
棒を
never
担が
seen
させるの
before.
か。
Why? Just because I'm a woman? I take... Let's just forget that ever happened. Ugh, let it... I just try not to think about it. All right.
なるほどね。おややや。どこ、ここ。なんか走ってきたら何かあったから撮った。よいしょ。ではまず今やるべきことは屋敷の地下の謎の空間に入る。
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
リスターン。
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Why do I have to do
もしかしてまた何かやっちゃいました。
Funny accent. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me, said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out yet.
呪われてるのにもう一回入っていくのすごいな。
But in the distance, I can and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie.
確かに見たんだ。
I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed.
謎の化け物の話も出てきた。めちゃめちゃ要素が揃ってきましたね。
What any sane person would have done. Well.
この黄金の指が相手だ。化け物。倒した。確かに皮を剥がされたような姿の化け物だ。崩れたのかな？潰されているね。もともとがスカイリムだとわかる部分ですね。この辺りは。月のペンダント。 とりあえず、話がまた繋がってきたかな。よいしょ。
On your best behavior, I trust.
Majestic. A new face, Ave.
突然なんですけど。なんだかそうしなきゃいけないような気がして、共通点を探してるんですよ。ここに来たの。突然、なんだかそうしなきゃいけないような気がして。だから聞いてみて。
Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What? Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do what else? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here.
あなたも記憶喪失なんだ。
I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask
ちなみに、私の手12時までに12時の方向に行きそうですね。私のお手手は時計だったんだ。カロン。私が出会った女の人はカレンですよ。そんな安直な。
And did you happen to catch her name? I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
フードのある服。
Because I've seen her before.
確かに。
There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
一緒にお風呂だ。確かにボートで送ってあげるって言ってたけど。まさかそんな。
But don't follow too closely. We can't.
距離を空けてね。ミコと一緒にお風呂に行くなんてね。噂を立てられたら困るからね。逆に、この方が見つからないかもしれない。
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could.
便利なものがある。
Oh, what a marvelous lamp! But do you see it?
マーベラスランプがあります。
In a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it. Only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen.
つながってきちゃった。
Charon, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
もしかして、ここは 死後の世界ってこと、明快。
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was
気づいた人になっちゃった。産地チェックです。
It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Rich. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too.
死んじゃったってこと。
In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fierce.
非常に大胆な
So
聖者。
I'm afraid I don't know.
でも、みんな川に飛び込んでるからな。
Each of them is slightly different. Whether the story, but they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river.
冥界の川の渡し森ですね。そして、私たちにはコインが必要。
Good question. Let's see. In the story, but that never made any sense. In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or so. Maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us.
コインですか？そんなの持ってたかな？
But so many others did not.
普通の小銭だけだと思ったけど。
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to
誰か
different
は
people
男の人だって言ってたもんね。彼って。
You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kurt, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took,
で
they
も
were always
みん
wearing
な
a hood
何
of
か
some
かぶってるんだ。
and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way
共
you'll
通点だけはあ
solve
る。
this riddle is if your paths. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it. If we don't want to be cast into, we don't have much to go on.
脱出の方法
Except
だ
the。old stories. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength.
脳筋で出てき
Sisyphus
た。
and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld,
賢く出てきた。
Proserpina, to help them escape. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape.
なるほどね。
That option would be the boldest.
じゃあ、
but also
脳
the
筋のパ
only
ターン
way
から
to learn the truth about the golden rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said,
黄金律を終わらせることができるかも
Hercules
しれない。
managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no
デミゴッ
Hercules.
ドですか。割とその辺の話を聞くと、ギリシャ神話とエルデンリング、つながってるところありますね。
Are you telling me I won't pretend to understand exactly what So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can.
私は時をかけるぞ、クロノスだ。
Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem
あのお
is,
方、
the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't
開
even
かずの
seem
神
to
殿。
be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the
開かず
desecrated
の神殿
obelisk in
さえも
front of
存
it.
在する。
I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It
や
looks
ば
as
い
though
村のレベルが
somebody,
さらに
or
ア
a
ップ
series
し
of
た。
somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our... If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
石板を集めないといけないのね。
Stone monument. You'll find them all over Rome. But of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style. Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize.
オベリスクの面によって装飾が違うんだ。
Recover 4 different plaques. Roman, Greek,
謎。
Egyptian, and a fourth, a mystery plaque.
もしかして現代のものじゃないだろうな。
Good question. To answer, it would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that and there's only one group of
神
people
の
I
名を
know
消し去る。
who might want to do that. There's
カ
a
ルトが
cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs.
あのカルトの長所が怪しい
They
な。
learned to start fires, as well as
教
deface
祖。
religious monuments whose existence challenged their belief. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. But I did hear a rumor they have a
気を
secret
つけた可能性もある
shrine
と。
somewhere in the city. Perhaps if you could find that,
火を放った可能性もあ
you
る。
might be able to recover the Roman plaque. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgia.
あの陽気なギリシャ人ですか。
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks
これは
ago.
聞いたこと
But
が
I
ない
did
人だ
hear
な。
Aurelia is peddling. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have. But the problem is, those are the stories of a poet. First, Proserpina. What we do, it's said, the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
なるほどね。
If the stories are true, the problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside
な
for
ん
a
か
moment.
声聞こえるんだよね。
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same?
全部同じ声。
Perhaps she is a benevolent spirit. Or
でも
perhaps-
私に飛び降りろって言った。
Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense
もう
for her
12
to
時になっ
speak
ちゃ
in
った。
cryptic
私のお手
whispers
手。
to avoid detection. Tell me,
もう下がってこない。
has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? That is strange. Well, as far as I can tell, if that's the current she's talking about, then
また
perhaps
シスターンですか。
you vaguely you might be able to let me know if. All right. As
よし、
in any case, may for.
老婆のお風呂。お風呂、深すぎる。さてと、では、お次は、この神殿に入って、あれ。まだ、この話をしていなかったか。
Salve.
インチキ、証人はどこ？
Salve.
いましたね、インチキ、証
You
人。
there? I'm sorry to trouble you. In fact, if I didn't know better, I'd say it looked like my own handiwork.
そう、でしょ、まるで、あなたが作ったみたい。ナイスジョーク。
You've given me an idea for a scheme that'll make us both very, very well. Then you enter the shrine, but make no. But my now. So now I've got. It's just. A,
では中に入って。わお。 蜂の巣がある。やばそう。だいぶ手入れされてなかったみたいですね。を消して、こっそりと神様と取引だ。ゴールデンアロー。
Is that you, partner? Do you
さ
have
て
the bow?
鍵がかかってるって出ましたけど、
Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you.
正体表したね。
And yet you did. And now here we are. With me out here and you in there. Until you give me my bow. No, technically, I never said that. I said if we were to split all those riches between
この町には寂しいばっかりだ。
It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference
追い
between
詰
a
めこい、
hypothetical
詰
and
め
a。promise now, is it? Oh, I do love a good loophole.
ちゃんと、やっぱり契約書を交わさないとダメなんだ。殺すのは最初にしてや
Not
る。
a very effective threat, is it? See, your first problem is you're in there, and I'm out here. Your second problem is the golden rule. What are you gonna do?
という
Kill
こ
us
とは
all?、
あなたは、私をここから出す気はないってことだね。
And don't even think about giving me the fake one. I'll recognize my own handiwork. I would reconsider my position quickly if I were you. I'm not sure if you noticed, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest, and they can be rather aggressive toward intruders. You know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to kill a man, but I always wondered how anyone could have known that. Let's find out how many it takes to kill a woman.
憎たらしいやつだ。一体どうすれば。弓矢で、スズメバチ、相手にはちょっと分が悪いな。こうなれば。ナムさん。黄金の力だ。鬱を黄金にする力を手に入れちゃった。本物だ。本当に物体を金にできる。こんなものが神殿に本当に飾ってあったなんて。上がれない。ゴールデンもこれは一体。
I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they say.
医者の苗木屋、ここにいたんだ。
Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walk down
人形のことを好きになっちゃった。黄金像のことを。
I thought I heard a whisper behind me, a rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal
そして
strained to
それ
say
が
a
人
word.
間であることに気づいちゃった
I
んだ。
tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and disturbingly, it was as if she was
それ
looking
で気づい
right
たって
at
言
me.
ったんだ。どうしたんでし
As
ょ
I
う。
walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my
こんなに黄金を生成できるのに。
But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within
足場
these
作りしかできないのが
unliving human beings.
なんかあれです
It
ね。
was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
ここは一体どこ？神殿の中に入っちゃったみたい。封鎖された神殿の中に入っちゃった。お前あそこに入ったんか。みたいに肩を揺さぶられちゃう。これぐらい広がるみたいです。完全にヤバい村ですよね。また化け物がいる。サンキュー。なぜありがとう。どうしてありがとうなんだろう。感謝の言葉を。安堵のため息。苦しがっているのかな。
You're not supposed to be here.
なん黄金を汚されたぞ。辛そう。この元にですか。やば。ごめんね。痛かった、危なかった。間に合わない間に合わない。 よし命中。命中しました。ナイス、スナイピング。しかし、弓矢が80本。この23人しかいない世界の中で、ものすごい軍事力を持つ存在になってしまった。誰も私を止められない。普通に外してる。ごめんね。これは足場にして登っていけばいいということかな。よいしょよいしょ。あっちに行くべきみたいだね。サンキュー。もう気づかれてる、もう気づかれてる。まだ結構いたな。なるほどなるほどね。よし。うまくいってる気はする。お金もなんか知らんけど手に入ってる。誇りっぽいところですね。これは像の表面を削り取っている。表面がゴールド&レッドなまだら模様。なんだかひどいことになっている。黄金がこんなにおぞましく見えるだなんて。ずっと苦しんでだんだ肉をへがされて生きてて。
My beloved Galatea, After I learned the terrible truth about the golden, my beloved Galatea. After I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare.
言ってしまってどうしたの？
Entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow.
それで助けようと思ってこんなことを。
Consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine
話しかけてそれで狂ったと思われたんだ。
and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began
孤独になっていたんだね。そして
and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor, who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the
なるほど、自分で名前をつけて可愛がってたんだ。
I had ever known. Your face, forever frozen.
美しい人形にね、恋をしちゃったんだね。
Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that
そしてそれを助けたいと思っちゃった。
not just whisper, your true meaning. So I gathered tools for the long,
本当の名前を聞きたいと。
barred the doors to this place.
そして、なぜか神殿に立てこもって、あんな感じの道具を集め始めた。あいうえに人は苦しまなければならぬ。集めてから閉じ込めた方が良かったかな。ごめんなさい。あり、情けはかけられない。あまり、情けはかけられない。ずっと痛み続けているんだ。ファイヤーパンチじゃなくて、ゴールデンパンチになっちゃってる。黄金だから死ぬこともできずに。恐ろしいことだな。かなりはっきりと喋ってるのがいる。 わわわわ。びっくりした。西がありましたか、どこかに。見逃しちゃったかな、本当だ。
My attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge
それは
was a Greek
順調だったら
woman
こんな
who
風
I
になってないよね。
after their healing and stone drilling through the gold that encased her. I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy
やっぱ
seems
り
to have
話し
fused
始
with
め
her
ちゃってる。
skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and
怪我してる。
muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They
見捨てられちゃってるんだ。
Undeterred, I pressed on, working
神
late
様
into
に
the
も見捨てられた
night,
存在。
attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could.
可能な限り
I was
丁
able
寧
to
に。
free most of her body, but when I
そ
released
して
her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge
拷
for
問
my throat,
台から外した瞬
clawing
間
at me with all her strength and those sharp
襲い
metal
かかってき
talons.
た。
This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodami to attack, she was
あ
clearly
りがとう
not
じ
a
ゃないよ。
suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I
い
continued
っぱいしちゃったな。
others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other
失
side
敗しちゃったから
endlessly.
次のにやろう。
Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after
たくさん
relocating
やってみたけど
from
同じだった。
most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together.
誰ですか？ここが犯罪のない状況だって言ったのは。
In this God's forsaken place.
何が理想郷だ。まだ結ばれる気でいるし。なかなか地獄ですね、ここ。血の跡ともとともに結婚と金婚がいっぱいの中でも失敗したやつだ。いっぱいの中でもさらに失敗したやつ。でもこっちは逆に幸せだったのかも。怪我しすぎて動かなくなっちゃった。ずっと動き続けるよりこっちの方が幸せなのかもしれないね。この金と赤の混じった物体おぞましい。すべての像が まるで何かから逃げ出しているようですが、その姿のままここに並べられているのは、なんだか不気味ですね。そして皮肉です。うご。神から逃げ出した姿なんでしょうけど、まるで今は別の恐怖から逃げ出してるみたいだ。
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments.
教えてない。
Worst of all, look at what you made me do to her.
説明は難しいんですけど、
If you just stayed away, you're going to pay for that.
アテネの弓がスズメバチで、スズメバチの巣が黄金の。商人の嘘が弓矢で金箔で、勝也が暗殺者がお風呂場で、それでタイムトラベラーで、するの無理だ。説明するのは無理。
Think I care about that? I don't care what happens to me, as long as you get what you deserve.
話が通じない目をしている。鉄鍋定食ください。
Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. I just wanted to do my experiments in peace.
どう見ても通らないぐらいの封鎖でしたよね。
You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen into this. Look at her.
私のせいじゃない。絶対私のせいじゃない。
To spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face, to hear her speak freely.
やり方が間違ってる。やり方が間違ってる。
But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. And now I discover she started whispering to you instead.
嫉妬しないで。ジェラシーを抱かないで。
What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me.
ちょっと話し合いの目が出てきたぞ。
Similar. I just thought it was because all voices sound the same when they whisper. But now that I think about it, they were all benevolent and seemed to share a common knowledge. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice, then this body is nobody, and everything
やばい。
I've done
自
here
分がしてきたことの意味を見失って、
Wait, I see what you're doing.
自暴自棄になりかけてる。
To steal her away from me. Were you planning to wait until I'd done all the hard work?
やめて。自分の考えを方向転換しないで。せっかくいい方に行ってたのに。
You tried to steal her away from me, and now look what you made me do. Give me
言
one
ってない。
good
してない。
reason
し
why
てな
I
い。
shouldn't peel you too. What? What are you talking
たま
about?
たまです。たまたま。 ポロの弓が金箔で、証人がスズメバチで、蜂の巣が黄金で落下なの。そうです、そうです。
I ruined her for nothing. What have I done? Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being like this and in so much pain. It's the air.
話が変わってきたな。
Contact with her flesh. It's agonizing for them. But the only way to fix it will be to break the golden rule and
止めて自暴自棄にならないで。
At least that way she'd be golden again.
それは誰も幸せにならない。
All it would take is one.
そして私が痛い。
It's too late.
待って待って待って待って待って待って。
I have to do this. I'm sorry.
できることがある。できることがある。私は超高性能黄金コーティング装置を持ってる。患者からの感謝の声もたくさん。ありがとう。おかげで楽になりました。彼女ができました。実験済みです。実証実験済み。
What? How? Really? I'm not sure I believe you, but if you're lying to me, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city. Understood?
なんとかギリギリ助かった。
At least we'll all be golden together. You did it. You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you.
よかった。よかった。とりあえず。
I will never harm her again. I swear it. I'll stay here to
そして
keep her company.
自分の間違いにも気づいてくれた。
These poor souls. What can be done for them? I've tried everything I can. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is whichever God doomed them in the first place.
じゃあ協力してください。黄金律の
The treatment for rheumatism is willow bark.
血離した方
I
を
believe there's a pot of it already in the shrine of Apollo.
血離し方を
Please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there. Go, and never return.
つきものが落ちたような顔ですね。
What? Are you still here?
間違っただけ、間違っただけ。そして、神殿の外に出ることができたのだ。ということだったのさ。さて、一つの大きな事件が解決したところで、本日はこんなところかな。続きやってみたいですね。面白そうなので。でも、あいつだけは許さない。黄金に変えて人権をなくして、 全身の黄金をむしり取ってやる。待ってろよ、待ってろよ。どこだ、出てこい。右足ばかりの速い。まったく。逃げ足ばかりの速い。いないですね。
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think, whatever is in there.
これで警告にしておこう。明日からカチカチの枕で眠るがいい。では。また続きやっていこうと思います。多分次くらいでクリアできるぐらいの長さだって聞いてるので。お楽しみに。では皆様。本日はこの辺りで。お疲れ様でした。おやすみなさいませ。日本語にしちゃったタイトルちょっとダサいな。